Ebeneza. Sio kwa uwezo wangu, ila ni kwa uwezo wako. Mahali nimefika Baba, acha nikushukuru. Bwana umenisaidia nifike mahali nimefika. Bwana wewe ni Ebeneza maishani mwangu. Ebeneza, nitaje juu yako, ninataka
Asante sana. Tungefurahia iendelee. Kila mtu I'm sure angefurahia kama ingeendelea na kuendelea namna hiyo, but time is a problem on our side. Now as we continue, before I invite our honorable guest, I would like to acknowledge and also give a minute to one of our stakeholders to give a word of encouragement. And I'm glad to say that we have the Proud Air College of Aviation. The director is here with us. We have the Transistant College of Aviation. The representative is here. We have the Nairobi Aviation. The representative is here. I would like to start by giving one of them to give a word, speak on behalf of the ATOs in the country in connection to our ceremony and aviation as a whole. Karibu, brother.
Parents, other guests, lecturers, graduates, good afternoon. Let me congratulate all the graduates for the good work they have done. For sure, you have struggled for long, but at the end of the day, you have achieved something. Already you have already been given all the credentials. What is remaining is just two key ones: attitude and creativity. What the market requires as per now is a lot of creativity. So you must be creative, and then you have to change the attitude. Definitely the parents, I'm so much happy that you have already sponsored these dear ones from your own pocket, but today is the day to say, may the Lord praise the source whereby you have already been getting those finance. I would like also to pass this message to our chief guest, who is also an honorable member of Ohio. We understand that this industry is growing, and the public institution cannot be able to meet the demand in the education industry. But we need the government of the Republic of Kenya to come up with the better policies of sponsoring students both in the middle colleges, private A, private B, but not only universities. There is a need to come up with the best forum whereby if banks can be able to give student assistance, loan to pay later, it can assist the fellow Kenyans because we are struggling. I believe we are targeting one common employer. Maybe, for example, our dear students who are graduating today, they missed just 1 point, but somebody met the point and he joined university. But despite that, we are targeting one common employer who one day will say that I need somebody with these credentials. Where is equitability if those sponsored have already been sponsored by Higher Education Laws Board? There is a need of extension or coming up with a better policies to cater for all of us in this republic, but not a few. I believe with those few remarks, gentlemen, I would like to encourage you from book of Dr. Mkuba, the author of Uganda, who said that there are three peoples in this world. We have those who are living, we have those who are existing, and those who are surviving. So it's upon you to make a better choice to know where you are going to join. But all you know, in every street, there is always a God, but not all the people who walk along that particular street can be able to pick that God. But it's just a few. Be creative and have a happy endeavor. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much for the word of wisdom. I also call upon one of the stakeholders in aviation industry, Mr. Moshi, who happens to work in Kisumu, just to say hello. Karibu, brother. In Kisumu, when it comes to the students who want to get an exposure of the tower controller and what goes on up there, because you know very well we don't have roads up there, but the aircraft have to find the way where they're going and where they're coming from. He's the gentleman behind that. Please say hello, Mr. Moshi. guest, the director of Kenya Aeronautical Division, parents, graduates, distinguished guests. I'm happy to be here today, although I got a notice at a very short notice yesterday. But due to my appreciation on what the young people are doing, I started meeting the Kenya Aeronautical student in Kisumu right from last year. But at the same time, I've been very much close with the students who are interested in aviation. Because of that interest and taking this particular chance, I had to travel and come and see. But I've been impressed from what I've found. The training they are undergoing is good. So that is the little I can say. But graduates, keep up. Training is not a guarantee of employment. All what I can say, interact. That will earn you an employment. We are so many from universities and they are still walking around the streets. So do not take the training being a guarantee of employment. You can also be an employer, as the director here is at the moment, and a trainer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As we move on, time is not our side. We would like to give each and everybody time to speak, but we cannot afford to go that far. On this note, I take this opportunity to encourage my big brother here, who has given us support and who has given us at least a word of wisdom. Maybe you just wave your hand for people to see you. Mr. Mbesa, he has given us a lot of support, my big brother. Now I move on. We come to Dr. Nasibi, the USIU lecturer, the man of the book. Come and speak to your children. My grandfather also, besides being the man of the book.
Brother Director, the guests of honor, Honorable Ichiro, parents, graduates, and invited guests. I am here actually just to say a word or two to graduates. I am here in double trust as a parent and a lecturer. It is my strong belief that there is no better investment than investment in education. So I want to thank the graduates who have devoted their time and the parents who have given an opportunity to these children to get this education. I'm particularly impressed by what the board and the entrepreneur, the person who had this idea to put here this institution. It's a valuable institution that is going to create a lot of opportunity for our middle college entrance. So I take this opportunity really to thank parents, to thank graduates, and to indicate the importance of education, not only to we parents, but also to the students. Thank you very much for the management to have given me this opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much, Daktari. We're very much pleased to hear that word or that message from you. Now we come to one of the most and one of the very, very important people. For the students, you have learned about ICAO, we have learned about the air law, we have learned about the aviation law and where it started, we have heard about the Chicago Convention, and so on and so forth. The Paris, just to mention by the few.
Now here we are blessed to have one from the ICAO, the main person from the ICAO, who will be able maybe to give us a word. For those who want to further, as we discussed, we talked about, then this is the right person to give you that kind of information that you may need. Now we come to Mr. Antanas Wanyama, who is the ICAO Project Manager Somalia. Karibu sana, Mr. Manu.
Guest of honor, Honorable Daktari Chichilo is also my friend, the director of KCA, lecturers, graduates, all protocols observed. I'm very, very happy to have been invited in KCA. As you have been told, all my blood flows with aviation. I'm an air traffic controller by profession. So now I'm doing administration as the deputy project manager for Somalia. I hear you've been taught about ICAO, which is International Civil Aviation Organization, which actually was constituted in 1948. Earlier on, there was a similar body, but ICAO was constituted in 1948, which happens to be the same year I was born. Now, ICAO normally is a body which oversees civil aviation, and it is a specialized agency of the United Nations, and it is charged by the mandate of setting standards and recommended practices. Now, all states in the world are members of ICAO, and we refer to them as ICAO states. Now, the states are to adhere to the standards and recommended practices, so that all the states have also their standards. But these standards are supposed to be above, meaning ICAO standards are the minimum. And this goes across anything to do with aviation. Whether you are a cabin crew, whether you are an air traffic controller, whether you are a pilot, whether you are an aeronautical engineer, whatever field you have in civil aviation, including environment too, because now we have an annex which deals with the environment. We have an annex that deals with dangerous goods. Anything that can be able to be useful or harmful to civil aviation has standards set out in what we call annexes. Now, these annexes are small. They are not very big, except Annex 10, which deals with actually a field in engineering, which has so many volumes. But you have an annex. The first annex actually is where you people are licensed. Deals with licenses. And then there's an Annex 6, Annex 8, and Annex 7. These actually are mainly dealing with the aircraft, the operation of the aircraft, the cabin crews, and the airworthiness of the aircraft. So whenever you want any reference, go to the ICAO annexes. Now, you know, ICAO annexes are just like the Act of Parliament, so they have to be expounded. And to expound the annexes, we have what we call ICAO documents. Now, in the documents, you go further. Even the calculation, I saw you people on the board out there, you want to calculate the weights. You want to calculate the fuel or the weight that should be carried plus the fuel. You will find all these things in the ICAO documents.
So I know you have learned a lot about ICAO. I don't want to bore you, but what we have in Nairobi is ICAO Regional Office for Eastern and Southern Africa. It is on Block I in the United Nations compound in Gigiri. You will not find me there because I deal with the project and my office is outside next to the police station, which is attached to Somalia. I'll say a little bit about my project. My project actually was set up in 1993 at the collapse of the government in Somalia. And its purpose is to keep the safety in the